McLevin just gave me a big packet here, and then the title of the article is 10 Greatest College Quarterbacks of All Time. I'm not sure what they're factoring in here, but this based off Urban Meyer saying that Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in college football. And then I believe the next word is, however, it was sort of run together, and it sounded like the best college quarterback ever. Yes, McLevin.
So this list, the most recent one I could find from Bleacher Report was 2016. I'm sure there are other lists. But it's funny, we were talking about some of the all-time greats, and a lot of the names we were talking about are in the list.
Okay.
Like the number one we could have predicted.
No. You gave me...
I know, there's
30,
you know how these lists on the internet
pages.
are?
I know.
How was I supposed to do it? Well, I sent you the link, too.
So Tebow's number one.
Yes.
All right.
But by the way, why is Tebow number one? He had a great team around him.
You watch your mouth.
I know. I don't know. Why is he the clear-cut number one? I know there are reasons. His stats are amazing.
2 national titles. One as a starter, Heisman Trophy. I don't know.
He's kind of like the most celebrated. Yeah, if there's he also stayed a year longer than some people thought. He had a better junior year than senior year. He always had didn't he have a Heisman as a sophomore?
Yeah, that speech too.
But I don't know what the criteria is, because there are guys, I always thought that Tommy Frazier was as good a college quarterback as I ever saw. He won 2 national titles at Nebraska. They won the conference title all 4 years that he was starting. But, he wasn't somebody that you projected to be a great, pro prospect. He was unbelievable. Like Tony Rice, when he played at Notre Dame, was great for Notre Dame, but he wasn't a professional quarterback. Yeah, McLevin.
So Tommy Frazier's number 2. Then Matt Leinart, number 3. That feels high because I know I'm going back to system, but he was such a loaded team. How, does he was definitely amazing, but number 3 all time feels a little gaudy.
He won 1 national title, won the Pac-12 or back then Pac-10 title, I think 3 times. Yeah, Paul.
Again, with Leinart, you have to ignore the fact that he was not a great professional quarterback. He was 3 years at USC, 38 touchdowns, 33 touchdowns, 28 touchdowns. Most guys don't throw for 100 touchdowns back then. And it didn't work out in the pros, but he was at the top of all the lists.
Yeah, but like Danny Warfel is in here then Ty Detmer is in here as greatest quarterbacks of all time. Marcus Mariota is in here with his numbers. Vince Young is in there.
Like Vince Young is 4 and Leinart is 3. Was Leinart better than Vince Young? And if so, by what? Because Young took over that game single-handedly.
Well, he was better in the national title game, but I mean, Leinart, it felt like he was playing in the backyard. It didn't look like it was that challenging for him at USC. I mean, it's a credit to him, but really for that talent around him. Yes,
we've discussed this before, but why isn't it okay to just be a great college quarterback? Why does being a great college quarterback always have to come with, but the NFL?
No, you're right. No, but that was always my problem when these guys would win the Heisman and then we'd look at them as a disappointment. Well, they were still great in college. They just were made for college, not the pros.
But why you wouldn't say this guy is the greatest minor league player of all time? He's not great in the pros. So isn't college, NFL similar to, if you're so great, can't you take it to the next level? Yeah,
but college and minor league baseball is not the same. You're playing in front of 100,000 people. College, way more pressure there, and it's not even close. But yeah, I can separate college from the pros because there have been guys who are successful in the NFL who weren't successful in college, and vice versa.
Right, but you could argue that if you're so great, then you should be able to produce at the next level.
Tom Brady wasn't good in college.
He was okay. He's pretty good. He won that Rose Bowl at the end, right?
He barely started. And
Come on.
He had to fight for playing time. He was a good college quarterback.
I watched a special on him recently. He was better than we remember.
He couldn't beat out Drew Henson.
Drew Henson was the natural. He was the biggest recruit in 20 years.
And how did that work out?
He bounced around the NFL a little bit.
All right, so I don't know if we solved anything. The greatest college quarterbacks of all time. Is Trevor Lawrence... Trevor Lawrence with one more national title, he'll probably leapfrog just about everybody on this list.
And this was before Baker Mayfield might have gotten onto this list. This was in 2016.
Oh, it was?
So, he certainly seems like a name.
But if Lawrence wins a Heisman and wins another national title, then he'd probably be considered, well, whatever the criteria is here on this list, he'd be the greatest college quarterback of all time.
Tua in that conversation too?
If Tua wins the Heisman or Tua wins another national title, maybe. I still look at Michael Vick as the most electric quarterback I ever saw in college. So much fun to watch back then. Wow.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV, stream for free on BR Live, or download the Dan Patrick Show app.